Or say, hey guys, it's Klaus. Look at this. There's a new tank in the game, the EBR 75 FL10, the first wheeled vehicle in the game, a premium French Tier 8, I guess technically a light tank. Wargaming North America credited me one of these for free in my account, so I'm going to take it out for a spin and give you my no bullshit opinion and review. And then I'm going to give away some bonus codes so you guys can actually test this thing as a rental. It's the tank where you can zoom out at full throttle like this and just go forward and, well, die right away. Because this thing is completely and totally underwhelming in every way, is my no bullshit opinion. But let's have a closer look here. Look at this thing. Okay, it's pretty interesting looking. Look at it. It's the first wheeled vehicle in the game, and let me point out, I have to give credit where credit's due. I think Wargaming is doing a great thing here. This thing is still in test mode, and they've gifted me one so I can test it. But even better is they're allowing me to give out some codes to you guys so that you can get this in your garage as a test vehicle and test it yourself. Codes to come later in the video. I'll explain what I'm going to do. But this is great because they're going to gather statistics and they're going to gather feedback, and they want, rather than just put it out there, they want some feedback. There may be some tweaks. This may not be the final version. Okay, so let's get into it here, and then I'll talk about the codes later in the video. Stay tuned. But my opinion is that it's underwhelming in every way. I can't really see what role it has, and it's awkward. And let me explain what I mean by awkward right away here, because I've played other games like Armored Warfare where they have wheeled vehicles, and the controls, when you turn left and right, press the turn left or turn right button, it turns the wheels, and then you have to use the forward and back key to either go forward or back. But with this thing, look, I'm just going to press left turn now. I'm just pressing the left turn button, the A key. I'm not pressing forward. I'm just pressing left turn. And this is what this thing does. Okay? And now I'm just going to press right turn. It starts moving forward. The wheels turn and it starts moving when you just press the left or the right. And that is in one of the modes here, which is the slow mode. Then you press X to get into turbo mode or fast cruising mode. And I press left and it turns left a little bit faster. It does a circle, which is really awkward because whenever you press left or right at slow, when you're still, you start moving, you lurch forward. You can't adjust yourself in like behind a house or behind a bush or around a corner. It's very, very awkward. And I don't think that the steering mechanic shouldn't be, you shouldn't move when you turn the wheels. You should be able to turn the wheels and then use your forward or back to move. And when you're actually moving, it's okay. It behaves like a normal tank. But when you're still and you just start, it's really awkward maneuvering yourself. But let's look at some of the numbers here, and I'm going to do it kind of like a pros cons thing. Okay, pros, technically it's fast, but you'll notice there top speed is just 60, which is not very fast at all. And that is in the maneuverable mode. Okay, so these stats are all related to the maneuverable mode, and you'll notice you can go 60 forwards or 60 back. And it's important that you can go 60 back because you can't freaking turn this thing around, as you just saw, without doing a big loop-de-loop. When you press cruise mode, that 60 jumps up to 80, and it's not showed on the stats there. So when you're in cruising mode, you're really fast. Okay, and what else? It's got really good camo, and I've got a crew here with, this is completely decked out. This is about as good as you're going to get it. About 42% concealment there, stationary and moving. So great camo. And the gun handling is fantastic. Look at that 1 second aim time. But the DPM and the pen and the average damage, 180 pen, 175 average damage. 2 shots in the auto loader. 10-second reload after your 2 shots. You're going to be facing tier 10s, buddy. That's not very good. So those are the pros. Now let's get into the cons. These are the most important stats, I think, to look at here. The top speed, 60-60, is when you're in a rapid mode and when you're the most agile. And in that mode, you're not as fast as any other light tank at Tier 8. You're not as fast as some medium tanks. You're certainly not as fast as a lot of tanks in Tier 9 and 10 that you will be facing. Now, switching modes takes 0.2 seconds, and I found out that that's awkward as well. If you're in cruise and you press switch mode, you just stop. So you have to have your finger on the W key while you switch modes, and then your tank hesitates. The other thing that 25 maximum wheel turning angle, which means you're not very maneuverable. You're just not. It's just really awkward. Other light tanks that I've played, especially like Tier 9 ones, the RU-251, the T-54 lightweight, the Tier 10s, the Sheridan, all the light tanks seem much more maneuverable and responsive than, I don't know, they just feel better, in my opinion. And this is the stat that, to me, basically kills this vehicle. 383 meter view range. And that is completely decked out. Let's look at my crew here. And I've got a pretty good French crew. This is my own account, so they don't have 20 skills. But they all have brothers in arms. The radio guy has almost full situational awareness. I don't have recon, but I've got vents, which improves crew skills. I've got optics loaded. Okay, and I'm running food, and my spotting is still only 383. Stock, this thing has worse view range than a KV2, which is blind. This thing is utterly hopeless at detecting the enemies. Or I should rephrase that. In order to detect the enemies, you must get so close to them that they will detect you, even though you have great camo. So here I go. I'm trying it out, and I learned right away. See, I was in regular mode, and I tried to switch to cruising mode where I can go faster. But if you double tap R and you're going full speed, and then you switch modes, your tank will stop. So you have to make sure that you have your finger on the W key while you switch modes. Or now I'm in just the maneuverable mode, so I can go 60. Which is slower than some tanks. But anyways, I make it into this this spot here. I'm just showing, this is my first game, okay? And I made it here. And I'm going to take a couple of shots. Now, the gun handling is fantastic. Okay? Fast reload, the best aim time in the game. But now I've taken 2 shots, and I have to reload for 10 seconds. And I'm kind of wondering, okay, so what do I do now? I'm in this bush, but look at my view range circles. And, oh, well, luckily that didn't hit me, or I would be dead. So what do I do? I moved up here, but standard positions where you might play light tanks, I'm not going to spot anyone because I don't have the view range. So it's just, to me, so what's the role? What do I do? If I move up, I can't spot anyways. If I get detected, I'm dead. So what's the role of this thing? Well, we'll get more about that in a minute, but let me go through the cons, because I gave you the pros. The pros were that it's fast when you're in that acceleration mode. You have great gun handling, the fastest aim time in the game. You've got great camo, okay? Now the cons. To me, the maneuverability at speed is horrible. It just feels really awkward. The maneuverability, if I try and readjust myself in this bush now, I can't. If I press left or right, the tank would drive off the cliff. The alpha on the gun is meh. I mean, it's okay, I guess. The other big con is look at my HP. I don't have any. You will always have less HP than everyone else in any game that you're in. Maybe if you're top tier in a game, you might have about the same amount of HP as some tier 6s, which is not good when you're in a tier 10 or a tier 9 game. And now you're probably thinking, well, Klaus, why don't you just put binocs on this thing so then you max out your view range? Well, no, you can't. You can't. You physically can't. You go in the garage and you try and put binocs on it. You're not allowed to. And then it has those goofy controls. Now I'm just trying to turn here to try and find a way out because I got to go test this thing. I don't want to sit around, but I'm just having trouble doing. What do I have to do? Like an 8-point turn to? I guess you could just drive backwards, but the controls are goofy. And to me, I'm just struggling with finding what role this tank has. Now, I think I've figured it out. And this is the role of this tank, is to just drive around and YOLO recklessly and try and be annoying and distract the enemy team. I think that's what you're supposed to do. and then rely on your teammates to shoot them. So, and I'm not even in the fast, I'm in the maneuverable mode here, so my top speed is 60. And I've decided, okay, you know, sitting around is useless. Let's put it in turbo mode now. Now I can go up to 80, which does make it one of the fastest tanks in the game. Oh, tier 10 light tanks can pretty much keep up. So let's go do something. Oh, well, I got hit once by someone I couldn't detect, and, you know, 2 shots and you're dead in this thing. But anyways, let's go. My role is to be annoying and do it quickly. So I'm going 80. I'm trying to, it just doesn't react when I'm turning. It's just goofy to me. I can't even turn without hitting things. That's my turning radius when I'm in this turbo mode or fast mode, whatever you want to call it. Now let's just go straight in there. Let's try and find the artillery. At least we kill the freaking artillery and try and evade. If I get hit one more time here, my game's over, and I haven't done anything. I'm going 70 uphill, so I mean it is fast now, but every time I press left and right, it's just so goofy. Oh, now you notice my wheel shows as damaged, but I'm still driving here. Here I go. There's the artillery. Now look at this. Is another pro, I guess. This has the best firing on the move accuracy of any tank I've ever played, but I took my 2 shots and now I've got 10 seconds. You know, and I think this is how it's going to go a lot in this game when you play this thing. I suck at it so far. And I'm going to give away some codes so you guys can try it. But here I go. I've learned that I have to be moving to put it in turbo mode, and I'll get the hell out of the way. I'm going to try and make a move here to get to the hill. So I'm going to use the speed to get somewhere faster than any other tank. Here I go. Here I go. It is fast. No doubt about that. But what do I do when I get there? I can't spot anyone. So what do I do when I get there? I don't know yet. Look, I'm just trying to get up here fast, but the turning radius makes it completely ridiculously awkward to steer. I tried to go down the road on Lakeview at full speed. I tried 10 times, and I fell in the water 10 times. You can't. It's just... You can't. Okay, so now I'm on the hill. Well, so what do? I've got a laser accurate gun. I can try and shoot some tier 10s. That's going to go well. So let's load, I guess, load the heat, right? That's what you're supposed to do. Load the, press number 2. And, okay, I can get a couple of good shots here. There you go. Now, the shell velocity on the premium ammo is fantastic. And I'm just, okay. They're coming up the hill to try and kill me. They're coming up the hill to try and kill me. What do I do now? If I get hit once by a tier 10, by that FV, there's what, a dozen tanks in this game that if I get hit once, I die. So I don't want to stay on the hill. Maybe you have to let your team spot for you and just try and play at range at the beginning, and then near the end of the game or near the middle of the game start YOLO in. Well, let's shoot this guy up the ass. We could shoot someone up the ass. Here we go. Here we go. Paradoulis, I didn't. Seamless retreat. Oh, that means I did get him. Oh, the other thing I should mention here is this tank has the cheat auto aim mod. It's the auto aim assist mod, which is, oh, that's nice. I got, yeah. Oh, now look at my wheel is damaged, so I can still move, but I'm trundling along at 30. I guess that's what happens. You don't get tracked. You get shot once or twice, and you're dead. Sometimes once. Now watch this. I'm in full speed, so I want to just get up here and just hide for a bit. And I don't have the turning radius to make that turn. I literally could not turn this tank to get up there because I was in the speed mode. And so here I go. It's very maneuverable. It's very fast, this thing. Like, holy shit. This was the most frustrating thing I've played ever in this game. All right, but what I was saying is you get that auto aim assist as standard. It's not a cheat mod on this tank, because your turret traverses so fast and you're moving so fast. You just basically have to point towards an enemy and right click and you're auto aimed on them. And that's standard on this tank. I hope it's not going to be for every tank. But let's get back up there on that spot. Let me get back up there. Now watch this. This is a lesson for you. If you have it in speed mode like this, I'm going to slow down. I'm going to slow down and try and get up there. I don't have the turning radius to make that corner. There you go. I had the left turn button jamming down on the keyboard as hard as I could, and it doesn't turn. That's, you know, going full speed in the open is fine, but making any kind of little turns is just horrible. I mean, the maneuverability, it looks like it should have good maneuver, but it doesn't. It's just feels terrible. And getting back to my point, like, so what's the role of this thing? I'm fast, I can get into positions, but I can't detect anyone because I have no view range. I have to YOLO in amongst them to detect them. I've got no HP. And you know what? This is the thing. I'm going to do a 2-minute rant on roles of tanks in this game, and then I'm going to give you guys the codes so that some of you can, or let you know where you can get the codes. In this game, it's just, there are no tank roles. The role of any tank in the game is just to do damage. And all tanks do damage, well, not all of them, but most tanks do damage better than this one. I don't see a role for even a light tank versus a medium tank versus a heavy tank. They're all the same. You just pick the one that's the best at doing damage. And, you know, medium tanks are better than heavy tanks in some situations. And light tanks can do the top damage if they can remain undetected in open maps. And there's no, like, it's not necessarily the role of a light tank to spot. So what's the role of this thing? Just to be annoying? Just to YOLO out there and try not to hope that you get lucky and not hit? And that's your role? In other games, I talked about League of Legends. Each champion or character has very different roles. There's healers, there's damage dealers, there's tanks, but even Wargaming has, like, for instance, in World of Warships, there's battleships, which are big, and their role is to absorb a lot of damage, have HP, they can repair, they can be detected from far away, they can shoot far, they do a lot of damage, but it takes a long time for their guns to reload. So their role is the damage dealers, damage absorbers for the team. Then the cruisers are fast and maneuverable, and their guns shoot faster, but they don't do as much damage. And their big role for them is to escort the battleships and protect them from destroyers, and provide anti-aircraft support for planes, because they're really good at that. And then the destroyers are very stealthy and very, very difficult to detect. They can get really close in and do all the spotting for the team. And each different type of ship has a completely different role in that game. If you play a destroyer, you have to detect the enemies for your team so that your big battleships, which are so slow and at the back but can shoot far, can shoot. And so even though you might not be doing damage, you might just be stealthy, you're really helping your team spotting. If you're a cruiser, you really have to escort your big ships if the enemies have lots of planes. I could go on and on, but there's definite roles for the different kinds of vehicles or ships in that game. Whereas in this game, I don't really see that there's different roles in the different tanks. Heavy tanks have better spotting distance than this. There's some light tanks that are just as fast. Basically, in this game, anything this thing can do, a light tank can do better. Anything a light tank can do, a medium tank can do better. And pretty much anything a medium tank can do, a fast Russian heavy tank can do better. It's all about damage in this game. And I just don't see this thing, like, are you going to carry games in this? If you survive near the end and it's a 2 versus 2 or 1 versus 1, you won't be able to detect anyone. You don't have the view range. You'll have to either sit in a bush and wait until they get close enough and you take your first shot, and because of your view range, they have to get so close to you for you to be able to detect them. As soon as you fire your gun, chances are they will detect you regardless of your camo, because they have to be so close for you to detect them in the first place. Or you just have to YOLO around at 80 miles an hour, 80 kilometers an hour, like an idiot, and hope they miss. So I think the role of this thing is to YOLO around the battlefield like a Muppet, like a chicken with your head cut off, trying to do circles and evasive action as best you can, and hopefully the enemies miss you and you distract them enough that your team will will inflict damage. I guess that's it. And I didn't mention the other thing. If you hit a tree or a car or anything, you slow down so much. Anyway, that's I've really given it a hard time, eh? I don't like it. But I have to give credit where credit's due. This may not be its final state. This is a test. And I'm going to YOLO in here and see if I can take out this Scorpion G. I'm going to go in there, watch what happens here. 1 versus 1. And while we do that, I did mention that Wargaming is testing this thing, and they're encouraging people to test it, and they want feedback. So I've got some codes, and I'm going to put a couple of those codes in my Patreon page for my Patreons, just a couple, and then I'm going to put a couple as a special for channel members. And don't worry, I've got lots of codes. I think I've got 10 or something. And then I'm going to put the codes in the comment section of this video. I'm going to, throughout the day, from time to time, put a comment. I'm going to comment on my own video, and I'm going to include the code. The code only works once, so whoever gets it first gets it. You enter that code on the World of Tanks website, and then you will get this tank credited to your account as a rental. And I will put comments in my own video here letting you guys know when the codes are coming. And I'll pin them so it's the top comment. And good luck. You have to just keep checking back. And if you're the first guy to nab it, you get this tank. So that it'll be a temporary, like a rental. You'll get to test it. And I should point out, this is very important. If you are successful and get one of the codes and you get the tank, you have to turn off assault mode and encounter mode. They want to gather statistics and have you play this in just regular random battle. So that's very important. Turn off assault and encounter mode if you get this tank and you're playing it. Otherwise, they'll know that you're playing assault and encounter, and they'll remove it from your garage. Okay, remember that. That's really important. And I think they're doing that so they can gather statistics on just random battles. And shout out to them for actually including you guys. So you can get it as a rental, and then you can provide feedback. And I think that's a great way of doing it. I got to give them a shout out, because I've been very critical, and I guess I just don't like it. But I'm really happy that there's new product coming in the game, and it doesn't mean that you won't like it. Some of you may love it. You'll master it, learn how to drive, and say, Klaus, you're just a Muppet. You don't know how to use it. So it's up to you guys. And I really think that these could work with some tweaks. I really don't like that the controls left and right, how they make your tank move. But you guys just check back on this video throughout the day. It'll all be today. Okay, I'm not going to wait a week. Today, I am going to put a comment, and I'll include a code. Here's the first code, guys, and I'll have the code, and I'll leave that comment up for like half an hour, and then I'll, a little while later, I'll put another comment, and I've got like I think 6 or 8 codes that I'm going to put in here, so that whoever sees them first, you keep checking back, kind of like a scavenger hunt, and if you see the code first and you enter it, then you get it. That's the quickest way I can get them out there. And then you guys can test out this thing and let me know what you think. Leave it in the comments if, well, I guess you're going to be checking the comments for the codes, aren't you? And I will pin my comment on the top, so you don't have to scroll through. Keep checking back, and good luck to everybody.